Hello and welcome back to this tutorial series. In our previous video, we saw how to add get method in our API and how to fetch the data from the database. In this video, we will try to create a post request and we will try to create a record into database. So let's begin. So to start with, let's go to department controller and just copy the method and just paste as is. And here, instead of returning HTTP response, we will return string and we'll say post and we'll keep everything as is. And here we'll try to write try catch block. Okay, so whatever is here, we'll put that everything into the try catch block, try block, and then we'll also have a catch block to catch the exception. Okay, in exception, we will return failed to add, and here we will return added successfully. And instead of this query, we'll say insert into department. So here we go. Our query is insert into department. Then we'll say values, and under values we need to pass the uh, the data that we are going to pass on from the post request. So here we'll require one department object. So for that we need to create a department class. Let's see how we can do that. So let's go to model folder, and here we need to add a new item, and that new item will be a class. So we are going to add a department class. So just check in here in Visual C Sharp, select C Sharp class, and here you can write the name of your class. So the name of our class is department. Okay. And here we need to add the properties of this class. So the shortcut to add public int is prop and double tap. And here instead of int, give long, which is a data type. And here we need to give department ID. In the same way, just type prop double tap and give the value as a string, and here give the property name as department name. Okay, now let's go to our controller, and within controller we need to use this department class department and just solve it. And we are going to take this use this class from api.models, since we have created our class in models folder. So here it is showing api.models, and we need to create a parameter for the same department. Okay, and in here we need to pass the department value. Okay, let's do it. So just remove this at the rate and put here dollar. This will allow us to write our parameter value directly within the string. So just put it in the flower bracket. Here we are interested in dept dot department name, and rest of the logic will remain same. That what we are doing here is we are going to run this query, which is going to insert record into departments. Okay, and this is what the value we need to add the department into the departments table, and the connection string is going to be same, and the command is also going to be same since it is going to run this query. And then our SQL adapter will run the query, and upon successfully running this query, we'll simply add that successfully added successfully. So let's go and run our application and check this post operation using Postman. Running the application, just copy the URL, go to Postman. Here, select and paste the URL API slash. Here, you give the department API name, and here select the post, and in the body, here we need to define that we are going to pass a raw object of type JSON, and here we just need to write our values in flower bracket. So department ID should be in quotations, and then we'll pass it as null because we are expecting this to be filled within database automatically. Then we have one more column, department name, and let's say I want to create department name as accounts. If I send here, I'm expecting a response that added record successfully. Failed to add. Let's see what is the problem. Okay, basically we have entered incorrect syntax here. Here we have to say insert into, and let's run our API once again and try to add our department. Go to Postman and try to add. Now we are getting a message that added successfully. Let's go to the database and run our query. Upon running, we can see that there is a new department called accounts. Let us write a post method for employee. So stop our application, go to models and create our employee model class. So go to models folder, create new, or you can directly select here class, and here give the class name as employee add. So here the employee class got added. So I'm just copying, pasting the properties here. So we have employee ID, employee name of type string, department of type string, mail ID of type string, and date of joining as date, time, data type. And the question mark says that it is an optional field if we don't pass any value for this column. So even we pass nothing, we are going to insert a record. Okay, so let's go back to department controller and let's copy this method, copy, and just come back to employee controller and paste that method inside employee controller. And here, instead of insert into DBO departments, we'll be inserting values into our employee table. Once you paste the code, here we just need to replace the department with employee, and we'll say EMP, and just resolve this with api.models, and here instead of departments we need to use employee uh, table name. So let us do that. So I'll simply replace it with a new query, which is insert into dbo.employees. So this dollar sign will be very helpful for us, to simplify read the value from the object. And this at the rate will help us to, put our string in a separate line. Okay, so in the query, we are saying insert into dbo.employees values, and we are passing the values from the employee object. Let us run and see if we are able to add the record into employee table. Run here and go to Postman. In Postman, select employee, employee, and remember, click on body. Here we have to change the body. So here we'll say, just delete it, and here type employee ID, which is going to be null, and then we have employee name, which is, I'm just giving some name as Murtaza. Then we have department. I'm giving value as IT, and then what else we have here? Department and then mail ID. So I'll give mail ID, mail ID as murtaza@test.com. Okay, so now let's send and see is our request is getting successfully. So you can see the response is added successfully. Let's go and check into the database. Let's go into the database and select and run. So yes, now we have a new record called Murtaza IT and Murtaza at test, and this is what we have created. Since we have not given any date here, so by default it took a default one. Let's see how to update that in our next video. Okay, so this is the end of our video. We have seen post operation using Postman, and we have implemented the code of post in department controller as well as employee controller. Okay then, take care and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.